Alright, so like we were talking about, I've never swallowed a big mouth of cum.
You've never swallowed a big mouth of cum before?
No, never.
Never?
Nah.
I think everybody's swallowed at least one mouthful of cum. We cracked open Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Single Barrel Vintage 43%. It was barreled 1/2010, barrel number is 644, bottled on 4/26/18.
Wait, was bottled on 4/26?
Yeah, 18.
Dang, that was actually close to...
Pablo, Diego, Jose Francisco de Paula, Nepomuceno, Maria, Teros, Remiro, Cipriano, de la Santísima Trinidad, Ruiz y Picasso.
Birthday. Sorry.
Yes.
Bleep it out.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't say his name.
Oh, sorry. Well, here's the good thing is I've actually never tried, and this whiskey's 10 years old now.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just barely over 10 years old.
You know, I never had aged whiskey before.
I never really have either. I've always had,
You've never had your dad? Your dad had a 35-year-old age whiskey.
No, we
what are you
did,
talking
remember?
about?
That doesn't mean his dad let him have it.
The night we went over there,
that's
remember
true,
you popped it open and we had some.
Oh, yeah.
We did have
okay.
some.
The one I'm jealous of is the night that y'all drank white Hennessy. Ugh, I'd love it.
We still got some?
Me and your
Yeah,
dad
actually,
about to
every
go.
time I went over your house since then, I've opened up the fridge and it's always just been at the bottom with like this much left in it because it was still the same from when we drank it.
I
Funny
bet I
enough.
can get your dad to give me some.
Funny enough, the bottle that y'all drank is gone, but we got another one. I drank it.
Oh, so that means when we go to your house, the one that's there, I can drink.
Maybe.
Awesome.
You know what the crazy part about white Hennessy is? It's like, I always like mixing my whiskeys and stuff. White Hennessy, you will never mix that. You straight shot it, put hair on your chest.
Well, Hennessy's like that too. It's just a really hard whiskey to... Okay, first off, this is the funniest story in the world.
Okay.
And then when he tells you his part, I'm going to tell you my part because what really happened is great.
Okay.
So one night, the first night I ever tried Hennessy, so I'm partying, drinking Hennessy, then I get home and eat fried chicken.
So...
All right.
Before all of this, it was the Renegades game when we were going to Allie's birthday.
Uh-huh.
So we had bought a bunch of whiskey beforehand, and I was like, "All right, you're gonna drink all this whiskey." And that was the time he bought that Oak Cliff whiskey.
Oh god,
Okay.
shit, disgusting.
It was gross. And then he tried it again last week. It was still gross.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it made my stomach hurt.
But yeah, he
Pretty sure it gave me a hangover
so
too.
we went to this party. I fed him. He started drinking whiskey. He got like crap wasted, and so did my Allie's girlfriend. They were both drunk, and me and Allie were like, you know what? We're gonna put them to clean. And we had it was like glass windows, and we were sitting outside by the pool, and we could just see two drunk people just stumbling around the room, picking up trash. And they would look at each other, and they'd genuinely be like, "Are we keeping this? I don't know if we're keeping this. Go ask Allie if we're keeping this."
Boy, man, when you told me clean, I cleaned.
Oh yeah, no, they cleaned the crap out of it. And then we were leaving, and he sat there and was like, "All right, we're gonna go." Well, the apartment has like this cutout that's supposed to be a window, but it's under the stairs. So he tried to jump through it and face planted. And then I guess he didn't think I saw it. And he's like, he stood up and was like, "Yeah, I made that." And I was like, "You sure did, babe. You sure did." Driving back from Grand Prairie, and he still hadn't tried his Hennessy. He was just chugging these tiny ass bottles of Hennessy like they were water.
Oh my goodness.
And he got here, and Elvis had fried chicken, and he didn't even ask. He ate like half a box of fried chicken. In the morning, he woke up and he's like, "Why are there chicken bones next to my bed?" And I was like, "You really have a question about these chicken bones? Out of all things, you have a question about these chicken bones." It was great. It was a fantastic night. I had a blast.
Hey, in my head, I made it. Apparently, I hit my face. But you know what, though? You know the best part about being drunk? I've gotten to fights when I'm drunk and got my ass kicked, because believe me, do not try to fight when you're drunk. You think you're invincible. You are not. You get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
I didn't feel a thing. Still, to this day, I remember waking up, I had a bruise all the way down my arm here. My neck was hurting because I fell asleep, kind of cocked, like this on the floor. But I didn't feel any pain from actually getting into the fight.
Yeah.
The only thing that hurt was my knuckle from hitting him in the face so hard.
So you drunk Hennessy, came home and ate fried chicken? Link in the description for Black Lives Matter. No, really, link in the description for Black Lives Matter. Okay, so we're gonna drink this good whiskey. So hold on. First of all, there's only been 8 episodes of Sweep released this year.
Okay.
And the reason for that is we've had other content, but number 1, I got a new job that takes a lot of my time. Number 2, I was homeless. Number 3, COVID.
Oh, God.
Number 4, you had a child.
Yes.
Number 5, Josh is gay.
I had the child.
What?
That's true, yeah.
He
I had a
made the
kid.
child.
We did make the child.
My shot glass is Goku Black from Dragon Ball Super. Link in the description.
Trunks when he went berserk.
Okay.
What the heck do I have?
Goku Super Saiyan Blue.
Okay.
I got Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta.
That makes sense. Alright, so everybody smell Nick Ricada. You're gonna put it in your mouth, swish it around just a little bit, then hard
the fuck
swallow.
up.
Again, like a bunch of cum from a dick.
Can't I just
Queer.
swallow it?
Yeah, just take the shot however you want to.
Salud.
So,
Did we tell the people in podcast world why we're drinking this? Like why we bought it?
Well, I bought it for your pregnancy, right?
Yeah, because I couldn't drink.
But also, we're celebrating 2 years.
woo!
Okay.
That's a burn, but it's pretty good, actually.
The Nick Ricada works so much. Like, I don't even have to drink anything.
Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But I'm also Hispanic. I don't know what Juan is over there.
We told you Juan's Italian.
Italian Hispanic.
Well, just because I'm
Oh,
a
you are
gringo.
Italian, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
He's no longer called Juan, he's called Vino now.
Vincenzo.
Where did Johnny
Pretty
come
sure that's
from?
a cheese.
My dad.
No, but like,
It's a nickname to Juan.
is it really?
Yeah, Juan is basically what John.
Because
John.
Juan is John.
Mhm.
Like the translation to English is John.
Okay, so
Juan,
But
get your shit
names,
together.
yeah, for real. But technically, names don't have translations
yeah.
because you are what your name is. But if you translated it,
So if there's a Johnny, is there a Wani? Like, is there
there's Juanito.
is there Juanito? Is that
Yeah.
Johnny?
Yeah. it
Oh,
just-
okay. Interesting. It is our 2-year anniversary, and this episode is titled "About to Hit a Toddler." Anthony and Thomas in one of the episodes said we're about to hit a toddler age, but I clipped it out as just about to hit a toddler.
Wow.
So
Oh, you're part of the media news. So you're only taking snidbits of conversation to fuel your agenda.
yeah, actually,
We talked about this.
We talked about
how
this.
he makes it look like he's like big and bad and takes out every time I check him and make him sound stupid.
Oh yeah, always. Let's play the intro. Get ready for this.
Chuck Huber here, voice of Android 17 in Dragon Ball Super and Kurogiri in My Hero Academia, and so much more. I hope you enjoy listening to this episode of The Sweep.
About to hit a toddler.
About to hit a toddler. About to hit a toddler.
It's a show about nothing and a podcast about anything.
It's like the highway between Fort Worth and Dallas.
Penis.
Gender diarrhea or something?
Well, you got to be in the echo chamber. Signals doesn't make vodka.
It's a texture of cum, so.
For a sack of potatoes and a bag of rice. I feel like we're going to talk about immigrants anyway.
Sit back and relax as we assault your mind through the wonderful world of YouTube.
I mean, you punch that baby. Is anyone asking how my hand feels after punching that iron-like jaw of that baby? I tell you right now, though, I'm so angered by seeing that, I wish I could go out and punch that baby again.
Man, that was from Campaign. And that movie, you know what? That movie's very underrated. That movie was fucking hilarious. My favorite part is where he's like, you make my son call you daddy? I'll fuck your wife in the icebox.
So I have a little bit of stats here. Our most watched video in the past year, 365 days, is the Vic Mignogna Deposition Parody Part 1 at 1,481 views. And then our actual most viewed sweep is episode 20, Anime Dallas, at 196 views.
Bro, we got shit on for that video, too.
Though the April Fool's sweep, Talking COVID with Vic Mignogna, is 322, despite it only being an April Fool's video.
You kind of did the whole, like, was it clickbait?
Vic Mignogna and COVID. Like, just, yeah, you gotta combine them together. I got a lot of crap for that video, too.
Literally.
Yeah, like 10 minutes of just farting.
I mean, that's fine.
It's so fucking nasty.
Fight Out Your Problems, now with added fun. Dick's Origin Episode 1 is at 312, so it's doing really good. We introduced that this year. Also, me and Josh's Sweet Virtual Con 2020, Digital Artist Alley, is doing well at 140. Ooh. So we're slowly adding things to the Sweep and the Knot, and we appreciate it, despite the lack of Sweep this year, though we are going to ramp it up.
I got my own idea. So that digital con shit, just do it like for a con like coming up, like say A-Con or Anime Matsuri, just give people an idea for what's available.
Well,
for the con.
basically, you would... So, you're saying basically give a preview of what you think is going to be at the con.
Yeah,
Is that-
it's not
okay.
just once a year thing. Just do it for every con that we go to give
But
the
right
audience.
now, ain't no con really going on.
I'm just saying.
We do videos of cons afterwards, but yeah, we've never done...
Yeah, it
We've
seems
never
like
done like a video of the Artist Alley and stuff.
yeah, it seems the Artist Alley we're kind of interested in that. We can give people an idea of what's going to be there or what they have.
Well, at a con, to me, mostly, what is the most interesting is the Artist Alley.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then second to panels. Well, maybe panels first. I don't know. They're kind of...
I'd say Artist Alley.
Artist Alley, yeah.
Panels, I normally just like play my video game and listen. Kind of like a YouTube video, I
I
guess.
just use panels as just a means to kill time.
No, I enjoy the panels.
No,
I like
panels are
listening to 'em.
super enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though. So, we've experienced like panels at big cons like what is it, Anime Dallas, where it's a big room, there's a lot of people. You may not get a question answered, but actually what's really enjoyable is those small room cons, like we went to Realms Con. We were able to basically get our questions answered.
There's always a question about how to be a voice actor, no matter what panel it is.
Every time I go to a panel, I always think to myself, what's a question that no one else is going to ask? And then someone always asks, what's your favorite episode? Bitch, get the hell out of here.
Always,
I feel the exact same way whenever I'm at Leon Chiro's panels. Like, I'm trying to think of a unique question for him, because everything else is just so generic.
What I like to ask, and they always say no, because I can only ask it in 18-plus panels, but I always like to know about their creepy fan interactions.
Oh, those are always funny.
I am Daddy White, with 2 years on the podcast.
Daddy White.
When I roll off the mic, I'm danger.
Harder, Daddy.
Wait, you haven't been here live for an episode, have you? We have a live studio audience.
Of one.
We have a El Pollo Loco, 2, count 'em, dos.
Años.
Dos años.
You definitely went Japanese and like, yeah.
Yes, cabrón.
Know what the homies call me in the streets, B? They call me
El Pollo Loco.
I don't know what that shit mean, but that shit sound
Then we're going to move on to Trap Lover. I guess technically you want to be 2 years because you came the second episode.
Yeah.
It's the first episode you were on. So you still got a little bit. I'm going to save Miss Beach and Ghetto Kaiba for a second because they have new intros.
I am known by many names. Mountain Slayer, Thunder Lion, the Chocolate Axe. But you may call me
Trap Lover 69.
Oh, go suck a dick.
That ear rape.
Okay, so we're going to start with Ghetto Kaiba. Are you ready for your new intro?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Ghetto Kaiba.
Here comes a new player. That card sucks. No. Fuck you, Kaiba, that card stank as hell.
Love it.
We're going to take a quick parent break.
This parent break sponsored by
Whiskey.
We let our Cambodian breast milk age for 7 years, making this the only whiskey for babies. When your kid just won't shut up, give them Wawa Whiskey today. Drink responsibly. 1% alcohol content per 100 milliliters. Pocket Shot LLC, Dallas, Texas.
We need to make that, like, for real. When we get bigger,
Wawa Whiskey?
Wawa Whiskey. We need to make that a real deal, real shit.
Yeah, and it's a Pocket Shot LLC, Dallas, Texas. Because that's another thing we talked about is the pocket shots.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that before.
Yeah, so I want pocket shots and Wawa Whiskey.
I'll entertain this mic for a second.
Entertain these nuts.
That Mr. Mike.
I should have brought some popcorn, honestly.
Some popcorn for the 2-year anniversary show.
Yeah. Man, you for real making popcorn, dead ass.
Hey, man.
What a king.
You wanted some popcorn, bro.
I am drunk, okay?
I'm trying.
I have not had a fucking whiskey in, like, I don't know how long, okay? I've been working my ass off in the attics and fucking trying to punish people and X-Marts. This is why you don't give me drinks in the fucking show. Especially when it's like, what, 10 years old?
Yeah.
Whew. How much is this?
Well, it's I think it was almost 50, a little short.
I was thinking about getting, there's this Japanese drink called, Hibiki Harmony.
Oh, yeah, that's the Japanese whiskey. It's very good.
Oh, dude, the 12 years old is $1,600.
Well, you can get the cheaper versions. They're about like $80.
I saw some ads on Facebook lately. I thought they were discontinued. Yo, this popcorn's bomb as fuck.
Is it really? Let me try some.
Home style.
Yeah.
It's sweet popcorn, not salty.
That's weird.
This parent break sponsored by
Whiskey.
We let our Cambodian breast milk age for 7 years, making this the only whiskey for babies. When your kid just won't shut up, give them Wawa Whiskey today. Drink responsibly. 1% alcohol content per 100 milliliters. Pocket Shot LLC, Dallas, Texas.
How I wish this actually existed.
Dude, when we get big, we're gonna make this a real thing.
We're gonna have our own whiskey.
I mean,
called
kids
Pocket
drinking
Shots.
alcohol, I'm not sure about infants drinking alcohol.
Just a whiskey called Wawa Whiskey.
I mean, it's 1% for 100 milliliters.
Oh, okay.
It's a pocket
barely,
shot.
It might as well be just. It might as well just be non-alcoholic. Apparently, you can also get drunk off Listerine. I wouldn't suggest it, but
no.
There's a lot of things in this world you can kind of get drunk off of that I wouldn't suggest.
Like?
Power.
This episode's going to be a little interesting.
It's going to be a little all over the place.
The first episode we tried to record with a baby.
Well, you know what?
It works.
For the most part, he's always pretty calm, so I'm actually surprised he's, like, being this fussy.
Yeah. I mean, it's hot.
Yeah, honestly, it is very fucking hot in here, and I don't really understand why. It's probably all of us, and then the oven was on, and all kinds. There's a lot of...
It's Josh.
There's a lot of factors.
I mean, you tell me, AC person. Fire. You work for Bad Boys Cooling, because who needs AC when you spit this fire?
Of course.
Actually, I think I need to check that poll. I didn't prepare for this. We did a poll for your favorite company 2 episodes ago.
I don't remember a poll.
You'll remember my poll, all right?
They all do. Some say it's legendary.
I mean, I do have a particular female that still messaged me despite being married.
Oh. When the secrets come out the closet, that cat got some claws.
How about that Evan Williams, though? Single barrel.
It's pretty good.
Dude,
I like
it is bomb.
It's good, but honestly, like I said, I like to mix mine a little bit more. It would be a great mixing whiskey. Shot wise, I'm just not that.
I'm actually the opposite. I can't really do mix. I gotta drink it straight.
Oh no!
So in our poll, who should enter the Sweep Hall of Fame with the likes of Jack Off Mozzarella and that one female rapper that we can't talk about anymore because now she's an assistant at Xmart?
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Well, I'll fuck her, right?
No.
Dude, would you not?
She got a fat ass.
For real, yeah. That ass fat, bro. So, it is actually a 4-way tie. ABC, Aging Badly Cinema, and Bad Boys Heating is not in the race. So we have 1 vote for Xmart, 1 vote for FYI, 1 vote for Timmy Tom's, and 1 vote for the No Community. So we're going to go around the room. I'm going to vote for Xmart.
FYI, definitely.
Xmart.
You know, we talk about it too much. Xmart.
Xmart enters the Hall of Fame. And studio audience, FYI is for your information. They have shams, scams, and overpriced dams.
Oh.
And all these are true.
They're a company that I worked for 2 months, and they literally...
I thought you made it 3 months.
No, not even. They literally scam people. Like, no joke. They scam people.
Dang.
There's nothing that they cannot claim that they don't, because they do. At least my store. And my store was number 2 in the nation.
Oh.
So...
You can only imagine what number 1 was doing.
Yeah. The Xmart enters the Sweep Hall of Fame. They're scamming people into getting these cards, knowing that next month they're going to be charged for it.
Oh, well, yeah. What's $10 a month or whatever? Yeah.
And then on top of that, they're scamming the magazines. Quote unquote, 2 free magazines you get.
I think the world is based on, like, you can get scammed into anything. It's ridiculous.
No joke. Like, I think that's illegal. Like, the way that they go about it has to be illegal. There's no way it's not.
Yeah.
Because you're being promised a risk-free scenario at the register and then being charged later.
Oh, yeah.
And they're trying to back it up by saying the text on the pamphlet they give you is saying that you'll be charged later. But at the register, you're being guaranteed a risk-free...
Yeah, because if you ask them, they're like, oh, no charges at all.
No, you're not getting charged.
Because they don't say, like, yeah, you're not getting charged right now.
Right. They don't say right now. They just say you're not getting charged.
Right. They hear something under the breath, like, you're not getting charged, and then they hear a little squeaking, like, what's that? It's them under the breath, not right
now. So, I have a question. Let's go around the room. So, what is the age of a toddler? Like 3 to 4? Or 2 to 4?
2 to 5.
When are you in your tots?
I have no idea, honestly.
2 to 5.
I guess like 2 to 5. Well, because after about 1.5, you're not considered a baby anymore.
I'd say when they can really start walking.
So the question is, going around the room, if you think you punched a toddler as hard as you can, do you think you would kill them, or just hurt them or knock them out?
I don't think that's an appropriate question.
Hey,
first
man,
of all,
you know what? Number 1, I don't care what you think. The title of this 2-year anniversary is About to Hit a Toddler, so I need to know this.
Are you always trying to be controversial?
Yes.
To answer your question, you're asking a boxer, I would straight up murder it.
Okay. Josh, Ghetto Kaba. Do you think you would kill a toddler if you punched them as hard as you can in the face?
No, I think I'd break them, but not kill them.
Same. I don't think they would die. No.
I'm not answering this fucking question.
Okay, mister, I have a baby that'll be a toddler at some point.
That's just stupid. What a bunch of toddler.
I mean...
Wouldn't do it in the first place.
I mean, what if they had an iron-like jaw? To crush a toddler's skull, it takes 2,300 newts of force.
Why would you...
Amateur boxers top out at 2,500.
How would you know this information?
What?
How would you know this information?
I don't understand the question.
He looked this information up prior to this.
I don't like where this is going.
He was just trying to set me up. That's why.
It actually depends on where you punch him. Okay, so first off, I listened to a different podcast, and they're all about crimes. So technically, it depends on where you hit it, because with your sole force of you hitting it, you don't kill it. But if you break bones and they hit certain places, you kill it.
Yeah, so I talked about that. So to crush an infant's skull, it takes 2,300 newtons of force. Mm-hmm. An amateur boxer tops out at 2,500. So it would take a trained person.
My head feels 50 pounds.
So I did the great thing that I have done to Josh. I got our studio audience drunk because I'm fantastic at this.
I told you it tasted different.
There's nothing extra without it.
I gotta try one of your mix one of these days.
This one's just wine, but my mixes are pretty awesome. It gets you there pretty quick.
You don't even see it coming.
Like Persona 5?
Okay, number one. Get out there with that communist console trash that nobody cares about. Nobody cares about the Joker. Nobody cares about, I'm a cat. Oh, I'm Statue of Liberty.
What?
No. F them. All Persona games have twists in the endings. Persona 3 and Persona 4 are far better. I don't care. And I'm not going to play Persona 5 until they decide to put it on a handheld. So, F them. F the Joker. He is the weakest main character in any Persona game.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Never played it.
You never played Persona 5 either, so shut your ass.
I have played Persona Q2, which has the Persona 5 cast in it. As soon as I got the chance, I got rid of all the Persona 5 characters. I went right back to 3 and 4. Now, I used the cat girl for a while because she's hot. You got Persona 3, you got the sexy robot. You got Persona 4, you got the idol. You got the lesbian Jackie Chan girl, Jet Li girl, whatever she is.
Hey, you want Chie?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll forgive you for that one.
You gotta eat more meat.
I'll give you that one. But Naoto.
Is that the
reverse trap?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do like it.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll let you off the hook for now. For now.
But the voice of Chile is also...
Chie!
Whatever.
Moron.
She's also the voice of Naz from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, it's the same woman. It has been an interesting one on Twitter, I must say. I have successfully pissed off multiple Funimation voice actors.
What have you done this time again?
Everything. So one of the recent arguments that I got into is... when you're in a successful thing that is not official,
okay,
should you list on your resumes, websites, demos, and etc. that you are that person? So let's say, and I even did the numbers, this is not including pirating, because pirating is a huge problem in anime, okay? Funimation has 100,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Toonami only gets like 500 views. Like 500 people watch Toonami.
Mm-hmm.
My Hero Academia, abridged, on YouTube, episode 1, has 470,000 views.
That's a...
So is the person that plays All Might on My Hero Academia abridged not allowed to credit themselves as All Might?
You gotta specify which one you come from, because you say All Might, you're gonna automatically think...
They specify that. They're the voice of All Might in the whatever abridged dub. Just like Moscow X is the voice of Goku in Team 4 Stars abridged.
That's fine. As long as you specify where you come from, then you should be fine.
I pissed off a lot of voice actors because these elitists think that you're not allowed to credit that because you're not official, which I think is
what makes you
bullcrap.
official?
Well, to them, you being official is licensing. So they think the only Goku is Sean Chimmel. Moscow X is as much Goku as Sean Chimmel. And that's what's funny, is these abridged series can't make money because they're not licensed, right?
Right.
But they have Patreons, they have all kinds of things. And you know what? Moscow X gets invited to cons. Well, voice actors don't make any money. They make like $75 an hour, but when you record 3 hours a week, that means you're making less than I do.
Right.
So, beyond that, they make all their money at cons. If Moscow X is getting invited to cons, he is also up there with the other quote-unquote official voice actors.
Yeah.
So he is making as much money as them with more viewers, if not the same. But the problem I have is Sean Chimmel saying this? No. Is Chris Savage saying this? No. You know who's saying this? Johnny Beausoleil that got a Funimation gig 3 years ago and has 2 official Funimation voices. Oh, you're not official. No, you're just mad that
someone's more popular.
Yeah, somebody's more popular online. They don't have to deal with your misogynistics, pedophiles, women rapists, directors like they have to deal with.
What the hell are we talking about? Oh, sorry. Parent break went a little long. What?
How Dawn pissed off the Twitter community of voice actors again.
Okay, Twitter community in general is pissed off by anything. This is why I look at Twitter. I literally made a Twitter to go cyber stalking the people that were talking to Dawn. He was talking to me about it, and then I was like, "Oh man, I can't believe she called you." He's like, "Yeah."
I was talking about how, Dragon Ball Z abridged and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Official, quote-unquote officials. And by officials, I mean...
Juan, you alright?
You okay, Juan?
Yeah, I'm just praising Dr. Pepper.
Okay. It's a new religion. I'm interested.
I'm down.
I am the Pope of Dr. Pepper. I drink these like water.
So I'm talking to a female.
I'm glad. I thought you were going to come out as gay. I was about to say, yes, finally! Bisexual Dawn.
I've been romantically talking to a female, and her father has a garage almost as cool as Juan's dad's garage.
Almost.
But it has 40 bottles of Jameson, because that's all they drink, and they have every single bottle of Jameson they've ever drunk in that garage. And also, despite her father being very Hispanic, he has not only a Trump flag, but also a very, very tiny Confederate flag.
I mean, Hispanic community actually, some of them like Trump. Some of them don't. But it depends if they're voting based on their religion or if they're voting based on...
Well, Trump got more Hispanic votes than Romney and McCain combined.
That's what happens when you say you're against abortion. Just saying. Putting it out there.
And also, you know who hates illegal immigrants more than white people? Legal immigrants.
Yes and no. It depends.
Well, first gens. Second gens, they think everybody should be here.
Agreed. Well, I'm a first generation, actually.
Yeah.
I believe everybody should be here. I just think they should... I think the proper channels should be changed.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What's the conversation? Sorry.
I don't know.
I was stuffing my face.
Well, like any great podcast of ours, we've gone way off topic. Me and you have ran to the bedroom 4 or 5 times, and it wasn't for what we used to run to the bedroom for.
That's right, because...
Slap Ass Friday.
Finally got enough people for a 7-mile spanking machine.
Wait, did you ever do my intro?
No.
Too late now.
That sucks.
Alright, we can do the intro right now. Miss Beach.
Miss Beach.
My favorite flavor of popsicle is dick.
Untrue. I'm a mother now. It's really changed my perspective.
And do you find it difficult juggling kids and a career?
You can juggle these nuts.
What?
Why does all of that sound like me, though?
That's what I'm saying,
you
right?
can juggle these nuts.
My oldest memory is of 3. But where I'm 100% sure is a memory is 4, because my first day at kindergarten.
I don't remember my first day at kindergarten. I remember in kindergarten when I had an ear infection and they sent me to a nurse. I remember walking to a nurse's office alone at 5 years old. I was like, I'm pretty sure this isn't supposed to be done. I'm pretty sure this is how kids get lost. Again, crime podcast.
I was consoling other kids because they were crying.
Oh, I also
heartless MFer over here was like, why are you crying?
Well,
yeah, why are you crying, bro?
In kindergarten, I also pushed a little girl off the monkey bars because she was being mean to me in class.
I mean, that's what you do. It's just business.
As long as I don't get caught. She told on me, and they were like, Sandy, never. Well, in Arkansas, they call me Joanna. Joanna, she would never do that. She's so sweet.
Well, also, a lot of people said stuff about me, when, especially when I moved to our current city. A bunch of things that I didn't do just because I was the new kid. I got told that I was sexually harassing a girl twice.
For real?
I got told... No. I got told I said the N-word. Never said that. I got told that I beat up somebody, that I literally beat up somebody. Never happened. So many things.
Where were your
What kind of shit did you grow up in?
I would ask and be like, where were your teachers? But they were probably sitting all together talking about what they were going to do that weekend.
You know what's funny is, like, if you ever watch the Jason movies, so it's always like a kid's in distress and then, like, the camp counselor over there, like, effing or something. Even though the teachers and stuff might be effing, they're always distracted by something else while the kids are over here suffering. It always happens.
As someone who has worked with kids, there are times where you, like, get into a conversation like anybody does and you kind of just forget what you're doing. And you can do that at almost any other job. You're like, all right, walk around. You just kind of forget that you're supposed to be working.
Oh, yeah.
The sucky thing is when you do that with a kid and then you hear crying and you're just like, fuck, I'm going to be in trouble.
Well, see, it followed me into middle school. But what stopped at middle school and it completely went away, was Officer Clay. Shout out, we're friends on Facebook, Back to Blue. So everybody would run to him because once you get to middle school, stuff started getting real. And when you say, oh, I'm sexually harassed, or oh, he hit me, it's no longer the principal, it's the SRO.
Okay, you went to middle school after I didn't have an SRO.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also school shootings.
There were school shootings when I went to middle school. There was the Colorado school shooting happened.
But you didn't have, like, Texas Tech and stuff, right? Because that's after...
No, Texas Tech... No, it was
no,
Virginia
you had already been.
It was Virginia Tech.
But you had already been in high school, though, right?
No, we were in high
school.
11th grade, I think.
Yeah, and then the Colorado Columbine happened when we were in elementary school.
Because I'm like, what, 3 years younger than you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
No, you're more than 3 years younger than me.
Wait, how old are you?
29.
No, I'm 3 years younger. 3 grades. Well, I'm 3 years younger. I'm 4 grades below you.
Yeah.
Big thing that happened while we were in middle school, a lot of fights started happening at the middle schools. Even though they were the high school students, the fights were happening at the middle school and elementary school, which, by the way, I went to because my brother was older than me, and,
The only reason I know about Columbine, and I can actually, like, remember kind of the years of Columbine, is it was after The Matrix came out. I know that for sure. Because they contribute them wearing the trench coats to the Matrix.
By the way, okay, so I love crimes. And not that, I mean, I guess it is a crime. A mass shooting, technically it's considered a crime, right?
Of course.
Yeah?
I mean, like, but I mean, like, you don't think of it as, like, a murder or something. You just think of it as a mass shooter. Like, I know that sounds bad, but I listen to too many crime podcasts.
Well, okay, so the difference between murdering somebody and mass shooting is when you murder somebody, you get one charge. You either get first, second, or third degree murder. Or manslaughter.
Or involuntary manslaughter, yeah.
It starts getting... okay, gotcha.
But when you get mass shooting, you get unlawful discharge of a firearm, possessing a firearm on school property, blah, 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 this, 15 counts of murder, 27 counts of attempted murder. So that's the difference, is you're looking at...
multiple charges.
Yeah, you're looking at 30 years to life in prison to life to... They do the stupid, 2,000 years in prison?
Right, if your life is extended.
But Virginia Tech happened while we were in school because it became my obsession to learn about, like, mass shootings.
Yeah.
And from everything I've ever read, Columbine, they were literally the most organized.
Yeah.
Because they had made bombs, like... These kids were playing no joke.
Well, from what I understand is that they actually had a plan. So they had one person sweeping the hallways, one person going in the lunchroom.
Yeah, no, and then the other thing is, it's one of the only high school mass shootings that actually involved 2 people.
Oh, my FBI agent, Johnny Casanova. What's up, bro?
But no, like, it's one of the only shootings that involved 2 people, and they were like, it was a perfect match. It was one of those, like, 1 in a million things where they found the perfect person.
Yeah.
That helped each other. Like, even when one wanted to bail out, they, like, literally... They had... I think back then it was, like, emails.
Are those guys even still alive? Or did they die in that?
They killed themselves.
Oh, they killed themselves?
They killed themselves in the cafeteria. There's actually a video of it, not that...
No, I actually know.
Very seldom does the people get caught.
It's not until recently that people started getting caught.
Well, even the people that got caught try to commit suicide, but they normally fail.
The one that really didn't fail, the Virginia Tech guy, he committed suicide in his dorm.
I think the first person to get caught was Batman.
Oh, yeah.
The Batman shooter.
The guy that said he was the Joker, basically. Coloring his hair and shit like that.
If I remember correctly, he lives in a state that doesn't have the death penalty. The guy that shot up the church, I think he actually got a sentence with parole. And everybody's pissed about it because they're like, what the...
It's just like with George Zimmerman and stuff. You can be as pissed as you want at the law. But you can't be pissed at the person because they... got let out or whatever charge based on the current law. You need to call your representatives, your senators and everything and say, hey, that law is bullcrap. If whatever touches a child, if whatever kills somebody, if whatever mass shootings, they need life. Because each state is so different, you can't be pissed off because someone got out because of the current law.
Well, it's also that people somehow get by on archaic laws that don't even apply to us anymore. And here's the thing, though. Yeah, the Constitution will always stay solid in the way it is, but state and federal laws can be changed because they are not of the same climate as we are now.
Well, another thing is, like, for example, in the city that we live in, if you call up the mayor's office and is like, so-and-so employee is doing this, you think that your little complaint goes unseen. No, they call so-and-so employee and so-and-so supervisor and so-and-so a director. And there's a giant meeting with you and the mayor trying to figure out what the heck went wrong and why they're mad at you.
Have you been in a couple of those?
I mean, I've been in them as like a supervisor, but not as in trouble.
Well, it's just
mainly because I tell them, I was like, if you have an issue with me, we can situate it right now, or I can send an email.
Well, think about it like this. You had chickens at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had livestock. Under the current law, if somebody were to steal your livestock, you can shoot them under day, night, not being armed, whatever being armed. So, imagine you're taking your chickens out and they're sunbathing, okay? You go inside for a second, and then you go back outside. And all of a sudden, you see, like, some person picking up your chicken and, like, heading towards their car. And you pop a cap in them. Normally, under actual stand your ground law in Texas, you'd be in the wrong and be sentenced to life in prison.
Oh yeah, the castle doctrine.
Right. You wouldn't be in danger. But because of this old 300-year law back when Texas was barely in the United States of America, you would be okay because that is considered livestock and they're stealing your livelihood. And you would be acquitted. That's how old some of these laws are that we've never revisited.
That's why they say when you get a lawyer, make sure you have a lawyer that's in the same, has been practicing in the same state.
Yeah, of course.
Because
state laws are so weird.
Everybody passes their bar. If you're an actual lawyer, you pass your bar, which is like, oh yeah, I know all the federal and this state, but if they have any more licenses and stuff, or they've been practicing a while, they know all these little itty-bitty laws that are going to get you off.
Yeah, Nick Ricada, been practicing law 4 years in nowhere, Minnesota, okay? If he came to Houston, all he has to do is pay a fee, put in an application, and then now he's licensed to practice in Houston, despite not knowing Texas law.
You want to know a crazier thing? So, he has to pay a fee. For the teachers, you literally can just take a national certification.
Right.
But that means if I were to go teach in Minnesota, I wouldn't know their itty-bitty standards that they want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Texas has these weird things where, yes, if a parent allows it, you can still spank the kids in Texas.
Yeah.
You could still spank
Every school district has to vote on that. There is 7 school districts, independent school districts, that still spank children. They're all in nowhere, Texas, but yeah. There are still places in Texas that spank children.
Where actually, when you were younger, did you actually still get spanked in school?
Okay, I got spanked in Dallas before I moved to Mesquite. And yes, and you know what? I might have been young, but that vice principal was hot, and I was actually okay with it.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie.
So in Arkansas, when we were growing up, before we moved to Texas, they actually sent a slip home, and it was bright pink on the very top of all of our paperwork. Yeah. And it was like, do you allow the school to spank your kids? And for the sole purpose that my mom sat there and clicked signed yes next to it, I tried to behave as much as I could until the little girl that I pushed off the monkey bars. And then I got sent to the principal's office and they're like, they're going to spank you. And I was like, okay, they're going to spank me. But before they spank you, they call your parents and let them know, hey, she's going to have a reasoning, but she has a slip going home. Mom's like, yeah, spank her. Thank goodness it was picture day. And my uncle was the assistant to the photographer. And he came into the front office. He's like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I'm about to be spanked because, this little girl's being mean to me, so I pushed her off. So he took me out of school just so they couldn't spank me.
Dang.
Base.
I'm not even gonna lie. It bothers me to my core when I think about it now. I was so young, but I actually acted up more to get spanked by that vice principal.
I hate you.
Man, you know, when I was younger, when I was younger, I remember this too. I only got actually hit, I think 2 times.
Spanked or hit?
Well, spanked, basically.
I feel like those are 2 different things.
One of them I remember that I got into a fight with this girl because I remember she pulled the back of my hair and I turned around and punched her right in the face.
Dang.
I feel like it's just
straight punched her in the face.
If I ever have a daughter, I'm going to tell her if you put yourself in a man position, you're going to get him.
Yeah. So what happened was we went back to the office and I remember them being like, well, because they would be like, go to the back wall. So you basically had to stand on the back wall.
Yeah.
And I remember they would come in and they weren't really spanking you on the butt. What they would do, because they tried to be smart, is they make the hand with the ruler. And I remember being like, I think I might have freaked out the person that did this to me because I just, in my psycho mind as I was when I was younger, I was like, I'm not gonna show anything. So as he's hitting me on the hand, I'm just looking him straight in the face. And I still remember this clear as day. I said, I'm going to get you after this.
Wait, they hit your hand with a ruler?
Wait, I just realized that I had to drop my pants.
No, yeah, definitely. I did too.
Really?
You had to bend over the nurse's table, drop your pants, and she was in there with you, and they spank you.
With the paddle.
Don, were you living a hot
with
fantasy?
a paddle.
A female teacher spanked whatever-year-old me with my pants down?
Yeah, it was ours was always our male vice principal.
What the hell? Oh my God.
I just thought about that. I was like, wait, no, I dropped my pants. Wait a second.
You wear your underwear.
But just imagine me being in my underwear with a hot female vice principal.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but with us, our nurse was in there. Someone might have been in there.
No. Somebody was within me, but it was the counselor, but it was also a black female.
They were within him.
No, they were there. He's drunk. They were there. We're not getting anybody in trouble. They were there.
No, yeah, it was my black female counselor, much older, and then it was my female vice principal, very young.
Now that I think about it,
when that person actually spanked me on the hand, it was a woman. It wasn't a man.
No, yeah. I mean, that doesn't matter. You didn't drop your pants.
I dropped my pants in front of 2 older females.
Yeah. No, and the crazy thing is, as a child, you don't think twice about it. Well,
no, I don't. Yeah.
For us, yeah, you drop your pants, but they definitely put that in the little thing. Like, a child will drop pants wearing underwear, and then it's to ensure that you didn't pad your butt or something, which I find stupid because the teacher, in Arkansas, the teacher walks you to the front. So where in the hell am I going to pad my butt?
Well, my mom didn't defend me in the school district until I was in middle school, because in middle school I moved districts. So my mom thought that they were just picking on me. And I mean, I agree with my mom, and if it was my kid, I would be the same way. The principal tried to tell my mom that I tried to fight 5 kids.
I remember the story.
Bro, what the hell are you, the Hulk?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. She was like, well, all 5 kids said that Don started it. Of course they said I started it.
They were bullying you.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, my mom was like, do you think my son tried to fight 5 different children? 5. Imagine me now trying to start a crap with 5 different grown-ass men. That's just a dumb idea.
That's a death wish.
Yeah, for real. And she was like, yeah, but he was using a weapon. He had a stick and he was swinging it around. 'Cause I was fighting 5 children. I don't know what else you expect me to do. So, when I was younger, Uncle Steve and my dad told me to fight dirty as long as I wasn't fighting one-on-one. He said if you were fighting one-on-one, you either get your ass kicked or you win.
Okay.
He said you don't pull out a knife, you don't pull out a weapon, you fight fist unless they pull out a weapon.
Okay, so my parents never taught me how to fight.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Taught me how to fight. The 2 conversations my parents never had. What happens if you get in a fight? And sex. Anything about sex. I was never told.
Okay.
So, conclusion, have a baby. But I learned how to fight from my friend's mom, where she was literally like, you are a female, and females fight dirty. Doesn't matter if you're fighting a man. She's like, if you find something and you can throw it, you throw it. And so one day, I didn't understand what she was saying until I was me, her, my friend, and her mom, we went to one of their family gatherings. And she legit, I guess one of her cousins that she didn't like showed up. She legit picked up a freaking chair and hit this woman over the head. One of those I was like, what kind of WWE SmackDown crap are we doing around here? I was so confused. However, I went into middle school fine dirty. And after middle school, I never fought, weirdly enough. It was like middle school, I fought a bunch, probably like almost every week.
Why would you do that?
Because I was a Hispanic girl in a mainly black school.
You had always that drama to start, didn't you?
I didn't start no drama. Okay, I say that. Okay, I started a little bit of drama, but I didn't mean to. I just have a smart mouth on me, and I've never had a lot of female friends because most females don't like me having a smart mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So when they're like, oh, so-and-so did this, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. Or they wanted me to talk crap about whoever they didn't like, and I'm like, if I like her, why the heck am I going to talk crap? So it was always a fight here, there.
I would low-key, provoke fights.
Same.
Oh, man, yes. I do too. When I know two people don't like each other and they're about to fight, I would egg that on in a heartbeat.
That's not what I meant. I meant when people didn't like me. Starting middle school, they always said, zero tolerance fighting. Number one, I found a loophole. Your parents signing that piece of paper in the back of the handbook gives away the parents' rights. So they can do whatever they want with your child at that point. Don't sign that paper.
My parents didn't.
Yeah, because the zero tolerance thing is bullcrap.
Oh, no, my parents did because they were like, if you're going to get in trouble, that you deserve that shit. My parents are very old school.
Yeah,
they came from a different country. They were like, oh, you want to do anything stupid? Yeah, the adults get to decide what you do.
Well, see, my dad was old school, but in a different way, in an American way. He was like, yeah, man, somebody punch you, beat the hell out of them.
Exactly.
My dad told me that if I got into a fight where the other person started it, if I didn't hurt them long term, that he was going to whoop my ass.
Oh, yeah.
So one time I got into a fight in elementary school, and I stabbed him in the head with a pencil. When I had to visit my dad that weekend, because I visited him every weekend, he said, what do you get away with? And I was like, well, I got a few kicks. He tried to kick me in the dick, but he missed and got my thigh, and I got a bunch of punches in the face. Okay. What'd you do? I stabbed him in the head, and now he's bleeding. Okay. That's all he wanted. Because there was one time that I only got 2 punches in, and the other kid got 8 punches in, and I got my ass whooped.
Really? No, okay, so as someone who has worked with children before, it's frustrating to deal with kids that have been taught that, for the simple fact that kids that have been taught that have not been taught to go to the teacher first and let them know, hey, this person's bothering me. And I've had parents that are like, well, I say if they fight, they fight. I was like, yes, I understand that, but something built up to this fight, and your child did not come and tell me. Like, I don't care if they fought and they got in trouble. That doesn't bother me. I understand that's what your kid was taught. That's not what's tolerated here, so both of them are in trouble.
Oh, crap.
But you need to be taught, or a child needs to be taught that, hey, this person's bothering me, all right, I'm going to do something. Teacher doesn't do anything. Free for all.
Actually, I just realized that I got taught not to snitch, but I also got taught to punch.
Yeah. And that's that's the hard thing as like an adult that's taking care of kids, is because we can't see anything. We have 30 kids. 30 kids are only 2 people.
I was kind of taught in the middle ground. Like, first, if someone misses me, I'll let the teachers know. But the reason my parents brought me to a boxing gym for self-defense is if they start fights with me. Never start fights. They hit, then.
Just kind of realizing that now is that my dad taught me not to ever snitch, because snitches get stitches. But then my dad also taught me that if somebody punches you, to beat them so bad they have permanent effects.
Yeah, so my favorite parents are the ones that are like, okay, go tell the teacher. But if it happens again, deal with it. Because if the teacher didn't deal with it, there's a problem.
Well, you have to realize, every generation, as we go down,
gets different.
It gets different. And it's meaning, we're coming from a generation of our parents that didn't have what we had, like social media, things like that.
Yeah.
So back in the day, if you had a problem with someone, what happened? You went and told them face to face. Now you got a problem with someone, you get on Facebook and tell them.
You know, my biggest issue right now is that parents are letting kids hit teachers.
Wait, kids hit teachers? I've never heard this.
That's
where kids are literally there's videos of students wailing on teachers, and all teachers can do is call the security because you aren't allowed, and especially in the city that we're in as a school district, as a teacher, if you are not trained to restrain a child, you are not allowed to touch a child.
So think about it like this. What have I told you for a long time is my dad told me not to take crap from anybody. If a teacher came up to me violently, aka Chris Bird, I wouldn't be surprised if my dad was okay with that. Like if I swung on a teacher that he thought was threatening me. But the problem that I had with my dad, and something I'm not going to really install in my kids, is, my dad was like, don't tell the teacher. Like, you suck it up, you deal with it. But my dad was also, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, you can't punch them. But as soon as they punch you, you punch back. So I had to deal with a lot. But again, what Sandy talked about is what it turned me into is I provoked fights.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's giving me a lot of problems. Okay, you a pussy, bet you won't throw a punch. Well, what would they do? They would throw a punch. And then, according to my father, I'm okay to go all out.
Well, here's the thing, though, and it goes like this. It's a compiling thing. So say if someone keeps messing with you for a certain amount of time, you never told anyone.
Yeah.
It's just been going on. They're never aware of this. And then one day you finally snap. It happens. You hurt them. Who's in trouble? You are. Because you'll be like, well, they've been messing with me this whole time. Well, we had no idea they were messing with you this whole time.
I got away. So, in middle school, I got into a lot of fights. I'm sorry. I got into a lot of jumps where people jumped me. But again, my Uncle Steve and my dad taught me how to fight when you got jumped. They said, number one, get a weapon. So, a lot of times I grabbed a stick or whatever was around. He said, number two, he said, grab their balls or kick their balls. He said, you might be called a faggot a few times for the next, 2 months. But he's like, you still won. He said, it's better to be called... My Uncle Steve, it's better to be called a faggot than lose a fight.
I agree with him.
I agree with that too.
So, one of the first ever jumpings I had was by 3 people. One of them I stabbed in the head with a pencil. The other one I kicked in the balls. And the other one I punched into a car. And the person that got their car got slightly damaged. Threatened to sue my mom, but it never turned out, so.
Bring that ass here, boy. Wow, that ass is amazing. Bruh!
Sponsored by Xmart. Extreme deals and extreme service.
We clapped her cheeks just right.
So I wanted to call out 3 podcasts. So we got the Snuff O'Clock. And their description is, Time Flies When Comedy Dies is a comedy podcast dedicated to desperately trying to find the premise of a podcast. I'm guessing that their podcast is based on finding the premise of a podcast.
Interesting.
And then you have Richard Stanley's Perfect Movie, which is the podcast I'm on every Saturday that you know about, that y'all watched, right?
Yeah. I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I actually have watched it. Actually, I've watched it.
The reason why I started being on Richard's podcast is because of Ashens, which I'm a huge fan of. I spent so much money on a piece of his brown sofa. And then we also have the Ominous Origins, and it is a original horror / history based podcast, and it is part of the Horror Shots Productions line, and it premieres every Friday. And he, the host of that podcast, is actually Jocko on my animated series.
Oh,
the
sweet.
blue-haired guy.
Sweet.
So yeah, he is an amazing person, and I definitely would support his podcast. On Twitter, I said I'm coming for them. I'm coming for them hard. Little do they know, I'm just shouting them out on my podcast.
Little they know you got a really raging boner.
The biggest. Which is funny, as one of the podcasts said, should I be scared? And I said, yes, very. And then they said, should I be aroused and also scared? And I was like, very, because daddy's coming for you.
Oh my God. You ever try running with a boner?
So, because it is Slap Ass Friday, we asked Amingo, do you think a toddler could survive your full force punch? Stranger 1 said yes. Stranger 2 said, by me? Yes. Have you seen the South Park episode with the WoW episode?
Oh, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
Actually, yes, I definitely
That guy is what I imagine everybody online looks like.
Oh yeah, with the dirty Dorito chips in his mom's basement.
And another stranger said yes, and another stranger said no.
No.
Yeah, I mean, most people think they're macho. A lot of toxic masculinity won.
Until they get punched in the mouth.
That's true.
Yeah, for actually getting punched in the mouth will change your perspective.
I always said that if I get punched in the face, that I'll just be talking S with a black eye. So, another stranger said no, and another stranger said possibly.
Okay, I'm liking it. Like they're kind of leaving it out there for you to determine. All right, let's end this episode because you are too drunk.
Yeah. Arigato gozaimasu. Haben einen guten Tag. Tu madre es pollo.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode.
Hello, good day, mate. I'm so much smarter than people in the United States. Let's start the party. Throw some shrimp on the barbie. Your poppycock, now I must use the party. Have we ever told you all about how we shake country folks started to help you understand why we'll all have retarded?
Please check out our other podcasts on the channel, such as The Knot, where we have bite-sized topics and conversations that anyone can enjoy. There's more to come, so subscribe and ring the bell. We don't want you missing out on any future content. Now, if you can excuse us, your mum is changing upstairs. We'll see you next time here on the Sweet Podcast, and only on YouTube.